welcome to eBay. Just so you know, we may record and listen to this call.
Me too.
In a few words, tell me how I can help you.
Return call from supervisor.
Okay. Let me pass you to an eBay teammate who can help. Thank you for contacting eBay Merchant Support. My name's Leanna. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Hi, this is Michael Barden, B-A-R-D-E-N. I'm sorry, what'd you say your name was?
Leanna, with an L.
Leanna, good afternoon.
What was that?
I said good afternoon, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right, just another day in the circus.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, can I have you verify the user that we're looking at?
Yeah, it's hats around the world.
Perfect. And then what is the registered address? Perfect. Thank you so much for that. And how can I help you today?
Well, I am just calling in regards to a response from, I believe it was supposed to be from the office of the president or a supervisor. Let's see. I'll just give you the case number, and then you can check out the notes, and
Sweet.
that'll help. Okay, so the case is...
Okay, I think that's an SR number. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let me pull that up.
What is an SR number? Oh.
That's more of the call, so like...
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I just realized I had another number here, so another reference number, so I might have given you the wrong one, but I believe that's the case number.
No
So,
worries.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. What is an SR number?
An SR number is basically like referring to a call, or like say for right now we have an SR number for us referring to this exact call.
Okay. Yeah, I've actually had several calls, starting on June 20th, another one on June 26th, another one yesterday. I'm sorry, the day before yesterday. I was supposed to receive a call back yesterday, and I haven't heard anything back, so I'm just following up for a response from all of those interactions. It's kind of a complex situation here, so there might be a lot of notes.
Okay. Yeah, I did take a look over that. There's no like case that it's referring to. I do just see like we overcharged on fees in the past, and just you want to be reimbursed for fees, so you can just pay what you currently owed us. Is that right?
Well, there was a lot more to it, actually. I wanted a response from eBay in regards to organized stalking and harassment that's taken place over the last 3 years in my store from eBay employees, and there's no notes about that because I had specifically made a point yesterday to speak with, I believe it's Skylar that I spoke with about that issue.
Yeah, let's definitely see what's going on here. And if not, then I can go ahead and, assist you further. Mm-hmm. When was the email sent to you, just so I can look at it and refer to it?
I haven't received an email. Every single time that I call eBay, I am promised that there will be an email and or a phone call within 24 to 48 hours. Every single time.
Reaching out to you, so...
Yeah,
well, you called yesterday? Talk to someone about it?
No, I actually called the day before yesterday. Let me give you another number here because it might help with some more notes.
Okay.
All right, so that number is...
All right, let's take a look at that one. Yeah, it looks like you were talking with Skylar, and then he just told that the office of the president is working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's the hardest thing is that we don't really have a resolution if that is the case yet. Let me go ahead because it looks like Kat was the original person, the supervisor you spoke with.
I no, I never.
Let me go ahead.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just want to reiterate: I have not had the chance to speak with any supervisor. All of the people that I've spoken with have been customer service representatives, and I keep getting promised that a supervisor will speak with me or call me back and answer my questions about the organized stalking and harassment. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Department of Justice arrests on June 12th of eBay executives for aggressive cyber stalking and actually breaking into some people's homes to surveil them and basically gang stalk these people. Organized stalking and harassment is what it's called. And these 6 eBay executives. So that's been happening with me for 3 years. I've called the eBay fraud team. I've called and reported this over and over and over, and they just gaslight me about the situation. And now I've got some proof that they actually do that, and I have recorded phone calls from the past 3 years trying to report this to eBay. And I understand that eBay partners with the FBI InfraGard. They have a partnership. And InfraGard uses what's called fusion centers. We have mass data collection in the United States. Everybody's data is collected, and then if you are targeted through Department of Homeland Security and the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, they will use your information to gaslight you and use what's called neuro-linguistic programming for a psychological operation, and they do that via FBI InfraGard. So. Yeah, I know that's a lot of information, but I have lived through this and researched it and advocated for it for the last few years, and talk on like radio, talk shows, video interviews, stuff like that, and talk about this kind of stuff. So now that there's some proof that they were actually doing this, I want a response to all of the requests and inquiries about why this is happening to me and why I've been overcharged over the last couple of years, and I just want a response from somebody.
Okay. Yeah, no, definitely, and I see Casey was working on it with you as well. You've been definitely calling in about this for quite some time, and it looks like it just was canceled. It looks like you reached out to the Office of the President. Let me go ahead. Did you want to? Are you trying to speak to a supervisor? Is that right?
Correct. I want somebody to answer. Yeah, so somebody some kind of supervisor that can speak with me and either confirm or deny that this has been happening with me and explain to me what they're going to do to indemnify me or stop doing what they've been doing to me for the last 3 years and help me continue to run my store, because it was partially the fault of eBay that I'm having these issues.
Okay, yeah, let me go ahead and reach out and see if the supervisor can give you a call back. Do you mind if I place you on a brief hold?
No.
Thank you so much. For a moment.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to answer that call.
Michael, just checking in, just letting you know that it's just really busy. We actually just have like all our whole system shut down. So like you're actually my first call in like an hour. But they are trying to find me someone right now. So just give me a couple more moments and I will be right back.
Okay, thank you for letting me know.
My pleasure. One moment.
Whole system shut down.
So yeah, it looks like they are all tied up right now. What I can do is I'm gonna personally give you a call back. My name's Leanna, so I always give my members a call back. It really bugs me when people don't. So I can give you a call back in about an hour if you'd like, and then we can go ahead. At that time, there should be more supervisors available to give you a call back.
Okay, I mean nothing personal against you, but that's what I'm told every single time, and then nobody ever calls
I
me back.
completely understand that.
And I understand they're kind of.
And it's frustrating.
Well,
I promise you, it's just right now. It's just like I just asked, and it looks like they're all tied up. Can you schedule a call back? So they're just asking if we can do that, and that's all. And I know that my personal supervisor, Mike, he is awesome at what he does. He will be in about 35 minutes. So I promise you, I really will call you back. I know that's hard to believe with all the agents not calling you back. I know our system's kind of being weird, so I'm actually going to go ahead and write your information down just in case if it doesn't save it. And just so I can personally give you a call back. Is that okay?
Sure.
Awesome. Okay, what is the best number just in case to call you back at?
4. That's my phone number, believe it or not. I don't drive a taxi either.
Perfect. And does it like ask for any sort of, just in case, because I know there are some people who we give calls back to and it like asks us to type in stuff and we can't type in anything or like press a note or anything like that?
No, there's nothing like that. My voicemail is full though. There's some voicemails on there I needed to keep and record, and I haven't done that yet. So the voicemail is full. But what area code? Because every time I do this, so this organized stalking and harassment does not just occur through eBay. It happens in every single aspect of my life. They did this in East Germany, and they called it Zersetzung, and it means erosion. So they literally attack every aspect of your life. So throughout the day now, since you're going to be calling me back, I'll get a bunch of spoof calls over and over and over, thinking that it will be eBay, and then I just get tired of answering the calls. So what area code will the return call be coming from?
I'll be completely honest, I don't know for sure. I am in Utah, though. It should just be our normal one. Let me look it up real quick. It should be the 1866 number.
Okay.
But how about I tell you the exact time I'll give you a call around just so that you are aware.
Sure.
Let me make sure it's not during my break. So what about 7? It'll be anywhere from 7:30 to like 7:45. Or sorry, 2:30 to 2:45. So that would be in about 30 to 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Okay. All right. Well, I'll be working on some paperwork and stuff here, so that I'll still be around. And I'll look forward to your call.
All right, that sounds good. And again, my name's Leanna. I will go ahead and give you that call, and hopefully we can get you connected on over to someone at that point.
Thank you, Leanna. I appreciate it.
Of course. I'm so sorry that this is even happening, but it does look like it's not going to let me do it in 30 minutes, so just wait for 45 minutes to an hour, okay?
No problem. Hey, just real quick, have you ever heard about this, what I'm talking about? Have you ever heard?
I honestly have never heard of it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it even is.
So I'll just tell you real quick, like 30-second information here. So there are people in the United States and around the world that are called targeted individuals, and they go through what's called organized stalking and harassment. And every aspect of their life is attacked, and when they try to report it to the police or go see a psychologist because they're having weird things happening in their life, they want to check to see if they're going crazy or not, they are told they're crazy, because a lot of the things that are done are really odd. So what I've done is, I'm a 14-year Air Force veteran. I used to I was a 5-year active duty firefighter, and then I was a journalist for almost 10 years. And so when I realized that this was happening to me, I started documenting and reporting on the standard operating procedures and the techniques that are going on. And I've done some investigative research that goes all the way back to Department of Homeland Security, which was updated in 2013 when they scrubbed actual terrorists off the terrorist watch list and put good American citizens on these watch lists for profit. So it's a big actual conspiracy, not a conspiracy theory. And there are people actually being arrested and indicted for this, which you've seen with the DOJ report of the eBay executives. They're not the only ones. There's been a lot of other people that have been being arrested for this type of thing. So I'm just doing my due diligence to document everything that I can and follow up with all of this because there's going to be, litigation and more arrests, stuff like that. So, it's some pretty interesting thing that people should look up because they're tax dollars. You get tax money taken out of your paycheck every couple weeks or whenever you get paid, and that's actually going into these programs. And you probably, since you've never heard of this, don't recall voting for this to take place with your money. So anyway, that's it. I'll tell you what. I'll give you my website, and then I'll let you go. I know you have other stuff to do.
Awesome. What is it?
It's barredin.us. So BARREDIN.US. And I have interviews with former CIA, FBI, NSA,
that's awesome.
Doctors, different people like that, whistleblowers that confirm and corroborate my story and help explain a lot of what is going on. And actually, these programs have been used on our veterans. We've had 140,000 veterans commit suicide since the Patriot Act was enacted. And it's because of these programs that they are driven crazy intentionally and not given any help. And they just lose all hope and they kill themselves. So this has been an attack on our veterans and good citizens in the United States, a covert attack for good people to commit suicide. And it's basically murder through these. I know this is kind of a heavy conversation. It's not your typical conversation on eBay customer service line.
Okay.
But
it's fascinating because, if I'm being overcharged, something you want to know,
Yep. So, all right. Well, I'll let you get back to what you're doing. I talk to everyone about this kind of thing because it's important. It's affected my life. I've lost everything that I love in my life, pretty much, and I'm just fighting back and gonna make sure this never happens to anyone ever again. So, all right. Well, thanks for your time, and I'll look forward to a call from you and or your supervisor, Mike, somebody.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get someone for you right away, okay?
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Talk to you soon.
Have a good day.
Bye.
They were all tied up. The entire system went down. And everyone's tied up. Neuro-linguistic program. Covert intimidation. Double entendres. You start to learn, understand how that works, and it makes perfect sense. We'll wait for that call. Hello, this is Mike. Hello, this is Mike.
Hi, Mike. This is Leanna with eBay Concierge, just making that outbound call again. I just wanted to say, okay. So the supervisor who I was going to have you call, he is running late today. Today has just been not the day. So I'm so sorry about that. Our systems have been falling apart basically all day today. It's just been kind of a mess. But he will be in a little bit later today, probably in a couple more hours. And I really want to get you to him if we can because he is an expert at this stuff. Mm-hmm. So I want to see if I can actually give you a call back in another couple of hours. Is that okay?
I guess it has to be. This, it's kind of interesting that the systems are going down while I'm trying to follow through on this. I'm not saying all this is directed to me, but I have a friend that actually was going on a talk show. This happens with targeted individuals over and over. She was going on this talk show in New York City. And when she went to do the interview, the internet on the entire floor went out. So there's,
Really?
yeah, it happens almost every time I do an interview. So, wow, interesting.
Hmm.
Probably just a coincidence, but just
Yeah.
kind of
I'm gonna
observing.
check out your website. I'm like fascinated by that stuff. Or even like, do you know the Google? What are those things called where they? You probably know the wording for it, but like how they've created those things where they put it on our. It's like cameras or something and it's supposed to like have faster internet or something like that. Do you know
Well,
what I'm talking about?
Google has all types of different illegal surveillance programs and algorithms that are used for
Mm.
social engineering. So, if somebody else you want to look up, his name is Zach Voorhees. He's been on some of the
Okay.
same talk shows that I've been on, and he actually worked for Google, and he acquired, I don't know, 600, 900 pages, something like that, of Google documents that proved that they interfered in the last election, causing
Mm.
a certain presidential hopeful to gain 7 to 11 million more votes by using these algorithms, and they're also involved in using artificial intelligence to manipulate people, social engineering, stuff like that. Yeah, they've done a lot of things. A guy named uh, Cyrus Parsa actually has filed a lawsuit recently suing Google for using
Okay.
artificial intelligence for mass manipulation. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they've been doing,
Fascinating.
and some of their CEOs have resigned or been forced to remove recently. So you'll hear about that. Probably not in the mainstream news, but if you research it a little bit, it's pretty important thing. It has to do with
So fascinating.
this whole thing that I'm talking about too. There's more connected than a lot of people would ever really understand. So
Yeah.
unless you,
Okay, one more thing. I'm fascinated because I love this kind of stuff. I
hmm
won't keep you long because I've got to get back to other calls as well. But
yeah.
what are your thoughts on the whole coronavirus? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I believe it's a plandemic. It was planned to cause fear and to be used for social engineering. And if you look up Dr. Charles Lieber, Leiber,
Mhm.
he actually was being paid millions of dollars by China to work with them and flying back and forth to Wuhan to a lab to work on this virus and the vaccine at the same time. And he was actually charged and I believe convicted to 5 years in prison. But again, it's another thing that they won't explain to you on the news. But yeah, this you notice right after people started getting wise to the coronavirus pandemic, as that started to dwindle down, then all of a sudden we had looting and riots in the streets of a bunch of major cities. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, so the
That's
timing
so
and the timing
fascinating.
is impeccable, and yeah, it's basically, it's not really a liberal or conservative thing. A lot of people fight back and forth between the left and the right, and what they don't really realize is it's the quote elite, the totalitarian deep state and shadow government that operates above both sides, and they keep both sides fighting against each other. So we stay in constant conflict and in fear, going against each other because we're easily controlled. I actually do interviews with a former CIA counterintelligence agent that blew the whistle. He got targeted just like I did. His name is Kevin Shipp, Shipp, and he has YouTube videos. You can go to his videos, and he explains the difference between the shadow government and the deep state and how they operate, and use social engineering to keep us all fighting with each other between ethnicity, religion, gender, uniform versus not uniform, etc. And yeah, it's pretty interesting once you start to learn, that we're all of us normal people that are just working hard every day trying to live our normal lives are being mass manipulated by people that have more money, control, and power than it is. It's hard for people to understand how much power, control, and money some people have, and that they use that just to keep us busy, keep us on a virtual treadmill, and not allow us to get to a certain point to where we have power over ourselves. So anyway, that's I could go on and on and on. I could talk to you about this stuff for a
Well, it's
week.
fascinating. I'll look at your website because I love that stuff too. I'm really into like, you know, more so the government and what they're doing behind the back. So I will take a look into it. I appreciate you kind of educating me a little bit on that as well. And like I said, I will give you a call back in a couple of hours, probably about 2 hours from here. Hopefully he's in by then.
Okay.
If not, you'll hear back from me by the end of the night, okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
My pleasure. You have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. Talk to you soon.
You too. Thank you.
That follow-up. And right now a good time?
Yeah, just give me a sec. Let's stop what I'm doing here and go sit down. Okay. And you said your name is Brianna?
Leanna.
Le-
I'm the one who
Oh,
was working
Leanna.
with you regarding the...
How you doing?
Good. There's some sort of weird fuzzy noise happening or thing happening.
Yeah,
but,
that happens quite a bit on my calls. There's a lot of interference.
What was that?
So that happens quite a bit on my phone calls. There's a lot of interference, so.
Weird. Okay. Yeah, it looks like that's happening. Yeah, it looks like Mike that it's basically been a really long day. There's just been a lot of issues going on. Basically, he's able to call you back, but he's not able to call you back until tomorrow. So I'm setting up another follow-up for him to call you back around like 3 p.m. Mountain Time, okay?
Okay.
So yeah, he will give you that call back, and then, yeah, you should be good to go from there.
3 p.m. Mountain, and that's Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you calling back, and you're the first person to actually call me back and follow up with me, so I appreciate that.
Good. I'm so sorry that no one has. So yeah, I will set up for anyone to call you back tomorrow, and then they should just get you transferred on over to him, okay?
All right. That sounds good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. You have yourself a wonderful rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to eBay. Just so you know, we may record and listen to this call. In a few words, tell me how I can help you.
Return call from supervisor.
Okay. Let me pass you to an eBay teammate who can help. Thank you for contacting eBay. My name is Alexis. May I get your first and last name?
Hi, Alexis. This is Michael Barden, Barden.
Hi there. Which account are we calling it on?
Hats around the world.
All right, perfect. Thank you. And your registration address, please. Perfect. Thank you so much. How can I help you today?
I am following up on a return call from eBay supervisor and that I've been working on since June 20th. So I have a case number or reference number I can give you, so you can look up some notes. So I don't have to explain the entire thing
do you have the
over.
number?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. That's the number I needed. Thank you. Let's take a look here. Okay. Okay, so you haven't received a phone call. Is that a concern?
Correct.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I don't see that there was an outbound after the appointment was gone through, so I can reach out to that supervisor. Do you mind just a brief hold?
No problem.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I'll be right back. Thank you so much for holding.
No problem.
Hey, I'm just checking back with you to let you know that I'm still looking into it a little bit, and I should not be very much longer, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for holding. I apologize about the extended wait.
Well, there's a lot of notes, so I understand.
Yeah, so I did go through those here. I am actually in contact, it looks like, with two supervisors, so we're looking into this and working on it.
Mm-hmm.
So we can take a look
What are
into...
those supervisors' names?
So unless one of them is going to be giving you a call back, I apologize. I wouldn't be able to release that until we know which one's going to give you a call.
Well, you just said two supervisors are working on it. I'd like to know which two supervisors are working on this.
So we have two of them, yes, looking into it. I apologize. Unless they're going to be speaking with you, I won't be able to release those names.
Okay, wait, you broke up. I didn't hear what you said. There's what looking into it?
Yeah, so they are looking into the account and the notes, and I do apologize. I won't be able to release the names unless they will be speaking with you. So I'm still working on confirming if we can get you a call back.
Okay, because I keep getting given different supervisors' names. One Clayton, one Dan, one Kat, and one Mike. So this is the first call that I've called where nobody will give me a supervisor's name that's supposedly working on this. So, okay, no problem. I'm just documenting.
Yeah, no worries. You're totally fine. And yeah, I'm so sorry. So that is the whole reason why we shouldn't be giving you names, is just because, it kind of goes based off of who's available to give you a call. So I do believe that I have one here that can give you a call back. It shouldn't be just another couple minutes, and I'll find out, okay?
Well, I need to speak with somebody now. I've been told since June 20th that somebody will call me back, and that this is about the sixth call, I believe, that I've called in, and every single time somebody says a supervisor will call you back. And then I wait the entire day. There's no email. There's no call back. I have to call back the next day, and then I'm just told the exact same thing, and I'm just running around in circles and being ignored. So I need to speak with a supervisor before I get off the phone today.
Yeah, understandable, and I'm so sorry. I don't have the ability to guarantee that for you, but I'm definitely doing my best to see who I can get off the line with you, okay?
All right.
Thank you. I do appreciate it. I'll be right back. Hey there. Thanks again for holding for me.
Sure.
Hey, so it does look like I'll be able to get you in touch with Mike. So I'm just currently working on getting the call transferred over to them.
Okay.
So good news. You'll be speaking with them in just a moment here, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your patience. Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for holding for me, Michael.
Sure.
Hey there, so I do have my team leader, Michael, on the line, and they'll go ahead and assist you from here, okay?
Okay, thank you for your help.
Of course. Thank you
All right, Mike. I apologize for the wait there, and I apologize for the lack of a callback. I know you had spoken with Leanna yesterday. She's one of my teammates. I'd actually requested her to send me an email on that. It looks like the way she had submitted for that callback hadn't actually hit my inbox. So I apologize. I would have called you by now had I received that. From what I understand, looking through the notes and things, it sounds like there's some concerns over some additional fees and things you've been charged.
Yeah, well, actually, the original concern is I want a response regarding the organized stalking and harassment that I've dealt with over the last 3 years with eBay. One.
Can you expand on that? We don't really do anything along those lines. I'm not certain
No,
what it is you're referring to.
Actually, eBay does, and I've been reporting it for the last 3 years to eBay fraud department and multiple customer service representatives. And on June 12th of this year, 6 eBay officials, 6 eBay executives, the head of global.
So, yeah,
No, let me finish. Let me finish. Hey, don't cut me off. No, don't cut me off. I'm going to finish. I'm going to finish what I'm saying, and you're going to listen to me. I've been working on this since June 20th. 6 eBay executives were arrested for organized stalking and harassment, or gang stalking, by the Department of Justice. Now, I've been reporting this exact same thing to eBay. So please don't gaslight me and tell me that eBay does not take part in these type of programs, because literally 6 executives were just arrested for that exact same thing.
You're taking what I said out of context there. What I was stating is that, first off, we don't have an organized, there's not anything that we do intentionally as a company to that effect. Now, the story you're
then why were 6 eBay executives arrested?
Hold on, I let you finish. I'd like the same respect. I don't want to get in an argument with you here, but this is a
you're
serious
lying.
nature.
You're lying to me. You're lying in my face. Have you not read the DOJ report?
Look, I'm going to be very candid with you here, Mike. The reason that you haven't gotten any assistance on this situation is because you're contacting the wrong people if this is a valid concern.
Well,
Customer service
no one has
cannot address that type of claim.
Well, then why, since June 20th, have I been calling eBay and nobody has put me in contact with the correct people? That seems pretty convenient.
So I have seen that your request was forwarded along to the office of the president. I can't speak for them. I can't speak for the actions they take there. Now, I can go ahead and reach out to them and go ahead and request an update there, but ultimately, if you have a concern of that nature, like, that's something that needs to be pursued through our legal department.
Well, then somebody needs to get me in contact with the legal department then. So basically...
And the only avenue I have to connect you with them is through our corporate office, and that would require a written letter. I don't have a phone number to them or anything like that, but in all candidness, calling the customer support line isn't going to be able to help you if that is what is actually occurring.
And that's my fault for not requesting to speak to the correct person. After the 6th or 7th call, I've been reporting this. Actually, not even the 6th or 7th. I've called probably close to 100 times over the last year, and eBay records all of their calls. So there should be some kind of recorded calls from my account that show that I've been reporting this over and over and over. And I'm told that eBay does not take part in this type of behavior. Again, yet I see 6 eBay executives arrested by the DOJ. So, okay, we'll go, since you tell me that you can't do anything about that and I have to write a written letter, first, give me the address to where I would need to write a written letter, and then we'll move forward.
So it's just the eBay Incorporated, and the address for that, let me get it pulled up here, I don't remember it off the top of my head. It's also located in our user agreement if you ever need it. Alright, let's see. Okay, the address here, alright, where is it? Hold on. Sorry, we restructured it a little bit so I can find it. Okay, it is 2025 Hamilton Avenue, San Jose, California, 95125.
Can you give me the zip again?
95125.
95125. Oh, okay, San Jose. That's where one of the executives were arrested, actually. Okay, so There is no person that will contact me back regarding this. The legal team, fraud department. You seem to have a global intelligence office and safety and security office, those two of which departments of people that were arrested. But nobody has a phone number that I can call and speak with regarding the situation. I have to write a letter to them, which if history repeats itself with eBay, will not respond to my letter. They'll make me go ahead and keep doing my due diligence and then litigate.
I'm not trying to stonewall you or anything like that. I can't speak to that situation.
Okay, well,
the customer support role that I actually operate in, and the people that I work with, are specifically dealt in dealing with general policy, selling an item, listing an item, cases that open up. This is so far beyond the realm of influence that anyone in customer service actually handles. This is just something I can't talk to on even a general level.
Then why are you the first person explaining this to me after 20-something days of contacting eBay?
That's where I would reach out if I were in your situation.
Why has nobody given me this information since June 20th after I've called repeatedly over and over and over and over? Why are you the first person to explain this to me?
I think we both know that's a question I don't have an answer for.
I think we both know why. Okay, so let's go ahead and bypass that situation since you are not allowed to speak about that. I mean, were you even aware that the Department of Justice arrested 6 eBay executives? Was that sent out in your...
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yeah, we were all made aware. We were informed.
And then
but we were also told it's not something we're able to go ahead and speak to because of the legal ramifications of it.
Okay, but then you just told me that eBay does not take part in anything like that. So you're aware of the article. And...
So I want to stop there. Look, I'm not going to go ahead and continue this conversation on the basis that was a company-sanctioned action. If it was company-sanctioned, the company itself would have had action taken across from it. And in fact, the Department of Justice went ahead and stated eBay worked with the full extent of the law and did everything that they could to assist in resolving that issue.
Okay.
So I take personal offense to you blaming the company itself because that's not how we actually work as a company. It's an explicit violation of all of our policies, terms, and the morals that our company was established on.
Huh, that's interesting. Then why does eBay partner with the FBI InfraGard?
So again, you're asking questions I don't have answers to.
Okay, so
but
let's...
if they're partnering with them and working with them, I would think that means that they're working with them.
Yeah, oh, they are.
They were helping to resolve it. Like, look, I'm not going to discuss this issue anymore because, frankly, I don't have the information. Your information is all speculatory on your end regarding the company's approval or sanctioning of such actions. So I'm not going to continue this train of conversation.
Okay, let's
If you have something else, I'm happy to help with.
Sure, let's go to the fees that I've been charged for the last 2 years for relisting items when the items are listed indefinitely or until sold.
Okay. Are you to that effect? What do you mean in regards to them being additionally charged? Like when they relist, you are charged another root insertion fee, or? No,
I do not relist items. I list them indefinitely or until sold. And that option of relisting them as a 30-day listing was taken away, a year and a half ago or so, 2 years ago, something like that. So since then, I've been listing all of my items indefinitely or until sold. So therefore, they are not being relisted at all. And I've been...
That's inaccurate. That's not how that actually operates. Even if you put it as a good till canceled, they actually end and relist every 31 days.
Okay, that is
how it is set up to operate. That's intentional. You should be charged on those.
Okay, so do you see the disconnect though? It doesn't show on my end on the user interface that those items are being relisted. Nothing gets relisted in my store that I can see. So maybe that's done internally, kind of behind the user interface, where the customer is not aware that the items are being relisted, and they shouldn't assume that they're being relisted if the only option that they're given is listed indefinitely or until sold. I'm sure that makes sense to you, correct?
I mean, I can understand where you're coming from. We did post on the site and in the seller release when all of these options were announced that this was going to be the method that was going to be implemented, and that was how it was going to be approached. We actually took seller feedback from that, because we had, when we first instituted that change, we actually had it set on a 30-day relist. And the problem that we found with that was we received a lot of feedback from sellers that on the 31st day, on those months that it would lead to it being listed twice, it would hit the seller's free listings on their store, and it would go ahead and double ding them. And we didn't want nor intend that. And so as soon as we received that feedback, that was updated towards now once every 31 days, so that it does not happen twice in the same month. So they're not billed for the same item twice. And it doesn't twice hit their free listings for the month.
Okay. So, all right. So now the fees that I don't agree with how that works. It's pretty shady and convoluted, how it's worded, and then how it's actually carried out. That being said, I guess we can just disagree on that. The fees that I owe eBay, the business has been running for 10 years. I've always paid my fees. I've had no issue with doing that. This organized stalking and harassment, or gangstalking, that I've experienced, I've literally had people come into my home, steal items from my inventory. eBay has deleted thousands of my photos and told me that it was a glitch in the system, and to make it right, they just gave me a free month or 2 months of subscription fees, which didn't even come close to what I had paid employees to photograph and list those fees, or list those items. Paying an employee $1 per item to photograph everything, and then paying an employee $1 per item to list them. About 2,000 guesstimated of my photos were deleted to where only the main image was left, and it would take me months to search for each one of those items in my inventory, re-photograph them, and then relist them. And I was given 2 months of subscription fees, which doesn't even come close. Now, not to mention the hours and hours and hours and hours that I've wasted on the phone, dealing with all the different things that I have to deal with eBay, and I've documented this diligently. When the COVID-19 shutdown occurred, my sales went down over 50% for a while. They started going back up again, and then on I believe it was the 26th, not of this month, but when all of the looting and riots and all of the chaos was going on here in the United States, my sales plummeted again to where they were down over 50%. So I guesstimate that I lost $7,000 to $10,000 total in sales, and I've been in this targeting program, which has been proved that it's happening. It's through the Department of Homeland Security, FBI InfraGard, which stalks, harasses, and does a lot of unconstitutional things to American citizens who have been illegally watch listed. So I'm having trouble financially, and I cannot pay those fees. Now, on June 12th, when this arrest was made with the eBay executives, all of my items started being ended. Now, I have my items listed indefinitely or until sold, yet on June 12th, the same day that these arrests happened, I have 200 to 300 items ending a day, and now more than half of my inventory is not available to the public, so I can keep my store in business and even attempt to pay those fees. So why were my items ended? And why do they continue to be ended?
Let me take a look and see if we have any notation on that. In all honesty, I mean, that the only reason that they would ever be ended by us on our end is if they were in violation of one of our policies. We also have in-depth documentation that happens whenever we take that sort of mass action on an account where we close off multiple items like that. I can tell you I don't see any such action taken regarding or between June 5th and June 18th, and the one on the 18th regarding, looks like the payment status on your account. There was nothing on our end done to end those listings. I can confirm that for you. We don't have any documentation of any action taken, and any tool that we utilize to do that would force a note to be left. There would not be a way to take those down without us having done so and having a note left. And that's not something that's up to the person that's listing it. It's a system-generated amount. So
okay,
to be
so
honest,
something.
I don't see anything that confirms that we would have taken any action there on the 12th.
Okay, well then there's something definitely wrong here, because I'll just go to my listings here. I have active listings currently. I have 4,539 active listings. Okay, I'm going to go to my unsold items. I have not relisted 8,866 items that have ended since June 12th. I have not gone in and ended these items on my own. I have every single one of them listed indefinitely or until sold. So there's absolutely no reason that they should be ending. And now because my store has been affected because of all of this, the not being able to pay the fees, I cannot go in and relist those items manually. It tells me so I did not end them, and I cannot relist them.
Well, let me take a look over a couple of things here. If your account is in a status where there's a hold placed due to non-payment or anything along those lines, that would be why they stopped in and of itself. If your account falls into that status, then it would actually go ahead and it would prevent the listing of any new listings, and it would prevent the relisting of any listings that come to an end. That would be actually as designed according to the payment status of the account. But let me get your invoicing and everything pulled up here. But that sounds completely within reason of how our system operates there.
Well, it sounds within reason if I have all of these items listed indefinitely or until sold, that they would automatically end.
Is your system current on its payments?
No, and that's part of what I'm calling for.
That's why. That's what it does. Is if your system if you fall behind on your billing, we're not going to let you continue to list indefinitely while your system or your account is falling behind on payments. And so while we understand that can put you into a difficult bind, if your account gets put on hold due to non-payment, we shut off the ability to continue to sell on the site until you pay us. That's just like any other collections or anything like that.
Yeah, but why would the items end if they're listed indefinitely or until sold?
Because it goes back to what I was saying before, is that we no longer have just a listed indefinitely. We have a good till canceled. And what that does is that ends the listing every 31 days and then relists it. That keeps the listings current. That keeps them refreshing in our search engines. And so every 31 days, every listing goes through a cycle of ending and relisting if it's set to good till canceled. And so it wasn't that anybody went in and ended them, it's that the relisting period for that 31 days expired. They would normally have gone back up and been relisted, but due to the account status on payment, that did not process, and you wouldn't be able to list anything else on top of that. That would be why.
Okay, so, all right, that being said, I've been an eBay seller in good standing for 10 years. I'm sure you can see that in your notes. Taking into consideration that there was a mass pandemic, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that was affected negatively during this shutdown, during all these looting and riots and all that stuff. People were in fear to spend money. There's nowhere.
Sure. A lot of people have been impacted by that.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm sure you've lost a lot of good sellers. eBay cannot make any kind of decision to allow me to continue selling and try to recover from this all of this mess that everyone's going through after 10 years.
So that we've tried to make the accommodations that we could. I mean, I don't know if you're aware, we did the payment deferment that we set up back in March that allowed 2 months of your payments to be spread out to be able to help alleviate some of that pain. We did go ahead and institute that. We went ahead and put a lot of different policy changes into how we approached cases and things to ensure that both buyers and sellers were well looked after, and we increased shipping timeframes and expectations with no defects, things like that. to your own point, lots of people have been impacted by that. That very nature is why we are not able to go ahead and we can't remove or wipe away any of the payments that sellers have, because if we did it for one, we'd have to do it for everybody. And it would be a situation there where that would bankrupt us. We want to be able to go ahead and do that. So while your history is fantastic, you have a feedback score of over 12,000 in the last 10 years. I mean, that's a substantial amount. That's not dismissive of the business you do or anything like that. But we're not able to go ahead and remove any or credit anything or void out your invoice or anything like that, no.
I don't want it to be voided out. I want my store to be opened back up so I can have the opportunity to catch back up, pay these invoice fees, and continue selling on eBay and continue making my living. This is how I have paid my bills for years, how I feed my kids, and how I keep a roof over my head.
Sure, I can understand that. Like I said, I mean, the difficult part of it is when your account goes on hold, even if we took the account off hold, the billing system would catch it and place it right back on hold. There's not a way to go ahead and tell the system, hey, this one's in the clear, this one is exempt from the billing policies we have. We just don't do that. We used to have it in place where we could do it as a courtesy, but it became an issue where the billing system would still place them back on hold within 24 hours, and that would go ahead and basically eliminate the effect of it and the point, and then it would cause issues down the road when the buyer would have an issue because the seller couldn't get into their account to pull the listing information because they were back on hold. So it's not an action that we can take at this time.
Okay, so even considering all the information that I've given eBay over the last few years, explaining to them that I've been put through organized stalking and harassment by the company, by standard operating procedures that customer service representatives use on me, and sabotage of my store, the shutdown, and all of the different things that are going on in the country, eBay will not help me in any way or admit that they take part in FBI InfraGard organized stalking and harassment.
I'm going to confirm we're not going to be taking any action here. We're not going to be able to provide any courtesies or credits, no.
Okay, do you have anything else to add to the call?
No, I'm sorry we couldn't do more for you. I wish that there was more we could do to assist.
Well, I just hope the same thing doesn't happen to the employees that took part in this overtime, because FISA works both ways, and this is hell going through this. So I wish you all luck, and have a good day.